So why would design thinking, this process of creative solution finding, why would it be relevant to the world of social entrepreneurship? And my contention to you is that we don't know the answers to a lot of the most complex problems. We don't know what the best approaches are. We don't know what innovation really looks like from the start. We need to get into the problems to understand them from the inside, to experiment, to dream, to sketch, and to think about how solutions could evolve. We can't go into a lot of these complex problems and think that right off the start we're going to find the answer. We need to collect a lot of information, organize it, think about it, and slowly gravitate towards a solution. So the key element of the approach we're looking at today is not a rational, technical, linear approach to problem solving. It's one that says, no, there is a process of collecting, listening, synthesizing, dreaming, cohering all these different facts and information that you come across. And then only when you go through that process will you eventually get closer to an innovation that really will solve a critical pain point or issue that someone is trying to wrestle with. So what are the kind of key issues? The key issues are, how do we adapt this to social entrepreneurship? How do we make it relevant? And I'll give you some key moves and techniques that you can adopt. Second, how is this process really different from what goes on in the commercial sector when we design various products? And I'll argue that there are some differences. And how is this different from just basic market research where we're listening to customers? And in some ways, it bears some resemblance, but it is different because it's deeper and it has a different focus. So think about design thinking in the social sector as a way of unpacking, opening up the box, and understanding what's inside social problems. It's going to give you a moment where you can say, we're going to step aside from what we think is in the box. We're going to look inside. We're going to listen. We're going to see all the range of possible approaches. And then only once we've listened, thought through all the possible ranges, will we begin to narrow down and find our way towards an innovation. Now, there's some challenges when we take this approach, this open-ended approach to problem solving in the social sector. One of the problems is that the issues that we're going to deal with in social entrepreneurship tend to be enduring, multifaceted problems that are deeply wrenching, and finding solutions to them is going to be incredibly hard because there's so many facets to many of these complex problems. The other problem also, or challenge, is that what you need in the social sector is an approach that solves multiple aspects around. It has to be sustainable, it has to be scalable, it has to be innovative, it has to meet a lot of tests, it has to be appropriate for a lot of different audiences. So we're not just solving for ourselves, we're solving for an entire group of stakeholders. There are a couple major challenges you need to think about as you start to open up the range of possible solutions to a problem, as you start to look at all the possible ways in which innovation could contribute to problem solving. One is, can I come up with a solution that's practical and cost effective? And can I come up with a solution that's not going to have negative impacts on the people I'm trying to help? We can't afford to experiment in some cases with vulnerable populations. We have to be sensitive to the context and the range of constraints that we're facing. But my belief is that a lot of the techniques of design thinking that we're going to cover in this session are going to be very relevant. They're going to allow you to understand problems from inside, from the perspective of the client, from the perspective of the end user. And then only once you really deeply understand that perspective will you go back and find an approach, a solution that is in fact movement towards relieving the pain that the client or customer is experiencing.